Alright guys, with the Christmas update coming soon, we've seen new sneak peeks, lore drops, a few concept skins that could be coming, and a lot more. So let's go over what's possibly coming in this update. So Hytoko has officially announced the return of the 12 Days of Krisaken, and it looks like it's going to function very similarly to how it did last year. For those who don't remember, this event is all about giving individual characters their own moment in the spotlight, with each day delivering new information, lore, and behind-the-scenes details. This time around, characters can either be revealed in pairs, depending on what the devs choose for that day. The idea is to let every character have their own dedicated time to shine, rather than cramming everything into a single post. Throughout these 12 days, we can expect a mix of development tidbits, deeper lore insights, fun character facts, and even small comments from the dev team. There's also a dedicated Discord channel where all of this information is being posted, making it much easier to keep track of everything as it drops.
Perfect. Everything.
So there was this insane concept skin made by Abolaz that was based on the original design of Guest 666. This skin uses a bunch of classic Roblox SFX and many animations, with them having a choppy effect to make it seem like a classic Roblox avatar. Then with the walk animation using classic SFX, and the run animation having the exact sounds of sprinting on studs, we get Sixers M1 with him giving a left hook. Then Eviscerate digging straight into the floor. Then we get the classic explosion sound with Demonic Pursuit, and when you land the ability, it has additional SFX. Infernal Cry gives the quietest scream you will ever hear, with Blood Rush still being very similar. Then Blood Hunt still using the quiet scream, but with more added to it. Then when you get stunned, the kill animation, which doesn't seem to be finished yet, but Abolaz will finish this concept soon as they wanted to rush it out before anyone else uploads it. The special noob kill literally seems like he's teleporting to kill noob. Then the Guest 1337 kill animation has him picking him up and throwing him across the map. And finally the outro of the skin. This skin looks amazing, and since Sixer still doesn't have a classic skin, this would be a perfect match to add. Once it gets polished up, it will definitely be a skin worth buying. Do you like this concept of classic Sixer? So Forsaken have finally announced the new update that is coming literally on Christmas. It seems they have finally returned from their break and have announced this update with a bunch of new skins, emotes, and other cosmetics, along with some returning ones, which could be the old Christmas skins finally coming back. This means those who had them first can no longer claim their OG status for owning these skins anymore. A lot of players are upset that their OG status is being taken away with these skins returning, but now people who missed out on last year's event might finally be able to claim them again. However, some want the people who already own these skins to get something for buying them first. Should we be respecting the OGs of these skins? The event will last until the 31st of December, and we could probably see a collectible currency coming back to the game for us to earn skins for free, just like the Masquerade event. Also, these old Christmas skins are getting redesigned and updated, as some people who already own them can now see the redesign on the John Dos Santos skin with its remodel. With Isaac releasing an upcoming Legacy Christmas skin remake for Gingerbread Guest 1337, it now has a back bling that is a fully on smaller version of him, a gingerbread. These skins are now seen as legacy versions, and some of them might return for players to purchase. So one killer that everyone seems to have completely forgotten about is Star Glitcher, a killer that Coconut actually showed off around 8 months ago. What's funny is that people recently saw Coconut repost the concept and immediately assumed it was a brand new leak, even though this has been public information for a long time now. It's just one of those things the Forsaken community moved on from. So when it resurfaced, everyone acted like they were seeing it for the first time. Now, when it comes to Star Glitcher's design, we actually have multiple concept versions to look at. The earliest one is the purple model, basically a character replacement that fit Forsaken style at the time. That one wasn't the final direction. but it hinted at where the developers wanted to take it at the time. Then back in June, Coconut shared another concept skin, which had a completely different feel. This version was more of crystal design, with sharp angles, a glowing halo floating above its head, and a body that honestly looks like they put a diamond camo onto a Robloxian. There's also another concept for a skin I think that was based on Prettyverse, but as Star Glitcher. And this is where things get interesting, because Star Glitcher actually replaced an older planned killer named Rook. Coconut even gave Star Glitcher a full idle animation using Rook's original model, which shows that development on this killer went further than people realized. But even with all of this, the final official design for Star Glitcher still hasn't been revealed. Every version we've seen so far is either a concept, an early model, or potential skin ideas that might come to the game later on. What we do know is that Star Glitcher is heavily inspired by an old Roblox script, which makes sense for it to be added to Forsaken. So there was a Q&A on Slasher from Gubblegum and Groovester, the designers for Forsaken, with many questions asked on Twitter, starting from us learning a lot more about his personality and lore. One thing people kept asking was whether the Necrobloxian book actually controls Slasher, and the answer is no. It doesn't have direct control over him. It still speaks in his mother's voice, but Slasher isn't being puppeted around by it. We also found out that Slasher isn't just some mindless monster. He actually wouldn't harm children or animals, which changes the way a lot of people saw him. Even when comparing him to killers like Jason, the devs said there are many valid interpretations of how the two would interact. Some say rivals, some say friends, and others imagine a mentor-student kind of relationship. All of those are possible, which means Slasher isn't just a one-mood character. The Q&A also dove deeper into his childhood. In Bacon Society, the worst thing you can be is different, and Slasher was the exact opposite of everything they valued. He wasn't good-looking, wasn't smart in school, and wasn't popular at all. He was basically treated like he was useless, especially compared to someone like Jez, who sat at the top of their social hierarchy. There was even a funny detail where the devs mentioned the original idea for 1337's kill animation. It actually started with him punching the book on Slasher's shoulder and knocking it loose a bit. But even if someone did remove the book completely, you absolutely wouldn't survive the attack. Surprisingly, the one time Slasher was ever treated as an equal was during the war. Despite the grim circumstances, that was probably the only point in his life where people didn't look down on him. He was just another soldier, an able-bodied like everyone else. As for how he got drafted in the first place, the devs confirmed Bacon Empire military drafts were really common. When they needed soldiers, they went out and found them, willing or not. After that, Slasher ended up becoming the perfect candidate for the Super Soldier Project. Since he only had one living family member and wasn't someone people would really remember, he was basically chosen as the ideal vessel, and that's ultimately how he ended up in Area 51. There were many more questions, but these are some from the Q&A. Definitely have a read of them. So with a deeper look at the Christmas update, hopefully we'll see some of these things soon. What else do you want to see added? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsaken.